Hello, and you are welcome to Ben's Page Turners. And today we'll be dealing with the productivity principles of goals, direction, facts, and responsibility. And with me on the program, clockwise from my left is
Christiana Arams Jackson.
And on my right,
Follow John Monday.
Thank you, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
We're beginning with goals. So, Mr. Arams, why do you think that setting of goals is necessary?
Goal setting simply means planning, effective planning. If you want to attain a certain height in life, you need to actually sit down, itemize your vision about what you want to achieve, and then plan. And in this planning, you don't just plan on your head. You need to sit down, pick up your pen and paper, and put down your plan in writing. That is, in another word, we say you have to set your goals. And this your goal must be specific. They must be smart. They must be achievable. They must be goals that you know you can actually look back and you can measure it and say, yes, I am succeeding or I have failed. So that is why in life, in business, in everything we do, we need to set goals, because he that failed to plan is actually planning to fail already.
Thank you. And to you, John. How does setting of goals or lack of it affect an individual or an organization?
All right, thank you so much. One of the benefits of setting goals is that it helps to increase performance. Now, when we set our goals, it helps us to actually gives us direction on how we should be able to achieve it. That is why it's so important to set goals. And also, it helps for accountability, because when you set goals, it helps you to actually monitor and give account of what you have achieved and what you have not achieved. And for those that normally sometimes they fail to or set goals, it leads to increase in confusions, because when you didn't set goals, you'll be confused and be frustrated at the end because there was no plan on ground. So setting of goals is very, very important in an organization or as an individual. So I want to encourage everybody, as she has rightly said, that you can't just set goals on your head, or rather you have a paper and a biro and set them. Have a plan for your future, and when you do that, you will actually end with a productive life.
I ask you, as a strategic plan, which is an overall long-term plan, how would you ensure that these plans are realized?
You can have short-term and long-term goals in life. And as a strategic plan, which they were looking at the overall long-term plan, for you to really achieve that, you need to begin to develop steps. You have to have some kind of a guide or a direction towards achieving that. For instance, let me bring this simple illustration. I want to build a house in the next 5 years, and that is my long-term goal. I can't just sit down and wait for the 5 years to come and then I build a house. It will not be there. So I have to start itemizing the step I will follow to achieve that house building in the next 5 years. And how? Yes, I work, I earn salary. So I have to start thinking of how much will I be saving monthly, if I'm a business person, maybe weekly, monthly, then annually from my earning. So that, and then as I'm saving, what step will I start? Do I have the land? Or am I going to purchase the land? Then if I'm going to purchase the land, I begin to look at which area, which community am I thinking of going to get this land? And then I'll make the move. It's like carrying out the activity plan, making out my activity plan step by step towards achieving that goal. And by the time I get the land, do I need to start the foundation? Of course. I can start the foundation. Maybe that is my target. Between now and December, I will have my foundation laid. And then from January to June next year, I would have been able to raise the building maybe to a lintel. Gradually, before I know it, perhaps before the 5 years, I might achieve and completed my building. But if I sit down and say, okay, I'm looking towards building a house in the next 5 years and I do nothing about it, that is just a goal. At the end of it, the 10 years will come and go, and there won't be land, not to talk about building a house. So that is why strategic plan is having that wider, bigger picture of what I want to achieve. And then you have to begin to itemize step by step. You have to break it down. What do I need to do? What is the next thing after this one? Yes, I've achieved it. Then where else do I go? How do I go? Who should I meet? What do I do? By the time we put all these factors together and religiously follow the steps, you will see that at the end, we achieve our goal.
So, but after doing it, how would you measure your level of success? A long-term plan that begins from the end of the war to this end of the war. And there's something you must, like what you were saying, what you must do in a month, what you must do in a week, and in a day. That if you fail to do that, it will affect the overall plan. So, by the time you're done, how be able to measure to know you have succeeded or you have some areas you needed to retouch?
All right, thank you so much. Setting of goals actually help for clear visions and clarity. By the time you put down all those things in writing, it will help you to know that, yes, you're moving forward. Then how do you measure them? Measurement simply means you tracking your progress. Because when you're tracking your progress, if there's no progress, you go back again. There's no harm in retrying. But first, there must be a goals. You write them down. Then measurement, you track it. What have I achieved in these my goals that I've put down? Have I been able to achieve the number one? Have I been able to achieve the number two? So in measurement, it helps us to track our goals that we have set. Like for example, let me use myself as an example. When I was planning to get married, I actually have a set goal. I planned towards a particular year that I needed to get married, and I started buying things even before the time comes. We were planning ahead, not minding what we're going to face. So we actually plan ahead. So when you set a goal, it helps you. So before the time will come, I went back to the list that we have set, and I go through them to check the measurement, and I discover that I'm on track. So measurement help us to check our progress. So as an individual, for you to actually be successful in life, you must have a clear vision, a clear goals, a clear dreams. Then check the track. That is the measurement. How is it going day by day? Are you achieving them? Are you out of the track, or you are still within the track? It will help you to really.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Meaning that you must have to set a goal, and the goal you're setting must have contents.
Yeah.
And the contents of the goal you set, you have time.
Yeah.
And timing.
Yeah.
You have to check, measure at every level until you finish. Okay, if you're just joining us, we're still on the ethics development process, which is meant to create a foundation and build content for purposes of realizing the needful capacity for achievement. Now we'll be discussing direction. And in direction, I will want you, Mr. Adams, to define what we mean by direction and tell us what precedes direction, what goes ahead or before direction, please.
Thank you very much. Let me just take this small passage from the productivity principle of direction. It says, when your life has inspired direction, you will not need to understand everything. What is direction, you ask? Of course, direction simply means guiding. Direction means showing the way. And then what precedes direction? Before you talk about guidance, before you talk about showing the way, definitely there is the need for it. There must be something I'm looking for before I will look for guidance. There must be somewhere I want to reach that I'm looking for direction. I need someone to show me the way, and that is what direction means. And in this principle, for us, we are talking about productivity. For us to be productive in life, we need to follow the right direction, because if we are not guided correctly, we will end up being unproductive.
Correct.
And so that is why this principle is very, very important.
Thank you very much. Can you explain some of the outcomes of direction. What would you expect as an end result?
All right, thank you so much. Still on the productivity principle of directions. Now, any man or woman that is being guided by direction normally ends well, because directions help someone to move towards a correct destination. Now, if you are not being directed, you will make mistakes. And that is why we have people, and even this concerning this program is so important for many to kind of look through it, because once you go through this particular principle, it will help you and to guide you how to move towards a successful destination. So the end result of direction, one, it helps one to move towards a correct directions or destination, and also two, it leads someone towards correct path. That is to say that maybe you were going wrongly before, but once you have somebody to direct you, or even this principle, when you go through the principle, you discover that I've been moving in a wrong path before now, and it will help you to bring you back to a particular track. And at the end, you will have a lovely result at the end. So the principle, the productivity principle of direction is very important, that everybody needs to go through and to listen.
Thank you very much. Really answered well. Direction is something that everybody needs to be able to get things right. With this, we come to an end to this program on the productivity principles of goals and direction. And we're still on ethics development process, which is designed to create a foundation for achievement, a foundation that builds content for purposes of advancing your capacity for achievement. It's a program that is training on 40 principles that will help you to achieve in any sphere of life. So the training is free to everybody who is interested. The office is at Gonigora. And Ms. Aram, please give us the number to call.
Thank you very much. If you want to make any contact to know more about the training or make any inquiry, you can call this number 08067421022. I take it again. 08067421022. We'll be expecting your call. Thank you and God bless you.
It's a program you really need to have. It will help you in every area of life, like I said. So to Mr. Adams, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Engineer, you're welcome.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you around. So please wait for other episodes. Thank you.